So I am telling you, your question is about karma yoga. How karma yoga will benefit for me, right? If I do karma yoga for 10 years, will my heart be purified? Will I, after 10 years, will my vasanas will go? So the karma yoga is not about doing n number of years. A donkey carries a Bhagavad Gita for 10 years. The donkey will not become pure. Action alone is not purification. The clarity of purpose is the purification. The joy of doing is the purification, not the number of years you do. So why is that so? All our vasanas and impressions in life is nothing but pathways in the brain. Okay, for example, somebody drinks alcohol. So once he drinks, twice he drinks, then alcohol drinking pathway is created in the brain. Next time he sees the alcohol, his hands will go automatically. First is conscious learning, then it becomes subconscious learning, subconscious practice. This is very good, important in our life. Why is it important? When you learn driving, initially you drive consciously. After some time, there's no conscious learning is required. Conscious driving, then you can look at anywhere, your conscious mind is free. Subconscious mind will take over. Right? A autopilot is created in us. A program is created in us. What is that program? The program is nothing but a pathway in the brain. Is it clear? That's how it's very useful for us, because that's how we learn driving. And that's how we can develop good habits, or we can develop bad habits also. Somebody alcoholic, smoking also is bad habit. Now, whether it's good habit is called good samskara, bad habit is called bad samskara. Good habit is called good samskara. Good samskara means which gives joy and happiness and purity in longer run. Bad samskaras will give damages or causes problem, maybe alcoholism, drug addiction. But the problem is, after doing some time, you will never be able to get out of that, because already it's created as a pathway in the brain. A learning mechanism is already implanted. For example, you learned at driving. Initially driving is difficult. But after you learn driving is automatic. Why? Already a program is created in the brain. The program is getting executed. You don't have to do anything about it. Is there a way you can stop your unlearn driving? There's no way you can unlearn driving. Once it's a program, once a learning path is created, its learning is there. That's all. Right? You cannot unlearn it. Whether it's a good habit or bad habit, we cannot unlearn it. Learning is already there. For example, we learned 2 into 2 is 4 when we are kids. I cannot never unlearn it. It's already a program is created in the brain. Correct? So now, many times unconsciously we develop habits which will cause us suffering. Correct? I want to unlearn it. Not possible. It's like I add a drop of ink to a glass of water. The glass of water has become blue. I want to remove the blueness from the glass of water. It's not possible. Then what I should do? I should keep adding more water, that the water gets diluted. Similarly, once you have learned something, you cannot unlearn it. It has become part of your subconscious mind. Vasanas, impressions, whatever is that. Don't try to remove them. Develop something which is better. Okay? So then what will happen? The older vasanas will get sidelined. The newer pathways will be created. Correct? Instead of trying to, of course you have to try to get out of something, but getting out of something should be creating something new habit patterns which will sideline the old habit patterns. Then new neural pathways are created, new learning has happened. Forgetting the old learning is not possible in that sense. But the old learning, old habit patterns will take a sideline. Correct? So now the question which we can come to us that, okay, the old habits I developed over 5 years period. The new habits also will I take 5 years to learn. It's not the number of years which is required, right? It's not the number of years. What happens is, our system, our human system, is designed for immediate gratification. What I get joy immediately, our brain will develop a quick path for that. Okay. The joy, I'll say any path in the brain is only two paths. One is path which will give joy, or path which will avoid suffering. I want to get out of suffering is also a path, right? I want to get happiness is also a path. So these two paths are nothing but our vasanas, impressions. So getting a joy is one path, getting out of suffering is another path. Correct? So I'll say one is a path of fear, suffering is fear, and other is a path of happiness. There are two rewards for this, happiness and fear. So which of these is stronger? Fear path is stronger. The moment you have fear path, immediately a new path will be created. Understand? Out of these two paths possibility, the fear path is very immediate. Suppose somebody is addicted to alcohol. He is not able to drop it. Then he goes to doctor and says, the doctor says, your liver is damaged. If you drink alcohol for one more month, you will die. Immediately brain will create another path. Probably he wants to live. Right? So the fear path is always dominant. Then comes the joy path, the path of happiness. A path of happiness also will be created depending on how quickly you can get reward. Correct? So today you say, you can get this prize if you work for 1 hour, or I'll say that if you work for 1 year, I'll observe your performance and give this prize. But you want to get the prize immediately, grab the prize immediately. The quicker reward path will be created faster. It's not the number of years which will matter. Correct? So in Karma Yoga, we are creating a newer path which will give joy, joyful path. Because older path of our old habit patterns have caused suffering for us. Right? Any habit which you have developed in life is only to get happiness. When we do something for happiness, that path will get created. And over a period of time, we learn that that path doesn't give really happiness, it's giving suffering. But by the time it is late to come out of the path. Correct? No? Example, somebody says drinking alcohol gives me happiness. I work on the path and the alcohol becomes habit. After some time he realizes, no, it's not giving happiness, it's giving you trouble. He can't come out easily because path already learned. It's like an automated machine. It's a program. Now even if he curses himself, he cannot come out of that. Because the program is running. Now this system is created for us, for our benefit only. I want to learn driving. So you don't have to constantly think about it. Once you learn it, you forget it. It's like a program done. So you have, in many times you have run a wrong programming. Unconsciously, we don't know. Now I want to develop a new program. That new program is called Karma Yoga. Okay. So now if you are under the impression that by doing Karma Yoga for 10 years, I'll get out of Vasana, then you are completely wrong understanding. Because brain, our nervous system is not designed for that. Right? It's not number of years. So you have to ask the question, by doing what, I'll get happiness now. So that I don't get into old pathways. Old pathways which are giving me trouble, I don't want to get into that. So what new habits I have to develop which will give me happiness. Right? The happiness also should be quick enough. Okay? No, after 1 year I'll get happiness. After 10 years of Karma Yoga I'll get happiness, then it won't work. You will not have the joy. The pathways will not be created in the brain. Correct? So now a person gets happiness out of dancing. Okay? So if I give him an opportunity to dance all the time, then he will forget his old habit patterns and focus on dancing. Because dance gives him immediate happiness. Whereas the other path gives him suffering. Right? So the Karma Yoga is a way, finding a way where you can get immediate happiness. That's Karma Yoga, not tomorrow's happiness. Understand? So now happiness, you have to understand the meaning of happiness. Okay. Everything we do in life is for happiness. We can operate in two consciousnesses for happiness. One is called beggar consciousness and another is called giver consciousness. A beggar is also seeking happiness from a person or circumstance. So if I get a promotion, I'll be happy. So then circumstances are not under control. You are actually miserable because you are depending on something else. No, if that girl I love me, marries me, I'm happy. So then I'm at the mercy of that girl. My goal is happiness, but my suffering is more. Right? If I get that promotion, I'll be happy. Then it's not depend on you. It's depend on promotion. That means you are making your happiness linked to external conditions. Correct? Then external conditions can be anything. You don't have control over external condition. Right? So that means your happiness becomes unpredictable. And happiness becomes unpredictable, happiness becomes misery. But brain will not change the pathway because brain thinks that this is giving me happiness. Honge kamyab ek din, one day or the other day I'll be happy. So it will constantly try for the happiness path. Brain is like a robot. Right? Okay. Karma yoga, first step of karma yoga is shifting from a beggar consciousness to a giver consciousness. What is giver consciousness? I don't need happiness from anything. I can give something. My consciousness is giver consciousness, not a beggar consciousness. Whether somebody will be happy or not, then I don't bother. That I'll come to that. What is somebody will be happy or not? But first, I don't want to live in a beggar consciousness. I want to be living in a giver consciousness. That's a fundamental shift, right? So this shift itself gives a lot of relief. When you are in beggar consciousness, you are depending on external circumstances for your life. When you are in giver consciousness, you are in charge. I am in charge because I can give. What I can give? I can give one little bit meal to somebody. Somebody is hungry, I can give one bit of meal. Or somebody is suffering, I can give one good word. So I decide to operate from a giver consciousness, not a beggar consciousness. Okay, that is the fundamental shift in karma yoga. Are we clear? Now, why that shift? Because the moment you shift it, your mind will be full of joy. Because beggars always suffer in life. Beggars always at the mercy of others. So we have to decide. If I am suffering in life, I'll tell you, we are suffering in life, then we are living in the beggar consciousness, not a giver consciousness. Now, beggar consciousness is not result of somebody behaving with you. It's not result of you're not getting promotion. It's not result of your friend not talking with you. Beggar consciousness is your attitude to life. Am I in a beggar consciousness or a giver consciousness? This attitude is under your control. So I want to live always like a king, a giver, not as a beggar. Either you live as a king's life or a beggar's life is the first choice of karma yoga. Understand? That itself brings a lot of relief in you. A beggar is constantly at the mercy of situations and people. He'll be always abused. Anybody has seen you have seen any beggar being treated royally? Somebody comes near the car, hey, go, he'll say. Right? Okay? The beggar consciousness always gets a bad treatment in the world. That adds to your misery. So, you have to understand, am I operating out of beggar consciousness or giver consciousness? When you are beggar consciousness, always you are tied up in a situation in life. A person in life. It can be your friend, it can be a relative, it can be husband, or it can be wife, or it can be job. So you are constantly looking for some happiness come out of the situation. But only misery will come out of the situation. Because you are living in a beggar consciousness. Beggar will never get a respect in life. Never get a good treatment in life. So karma yoga is first fundamental shift, that I want to shift from beggar consciousness to giver consciousness. So now the next question comes, what can I give? Right? This is what is called dana or yadna in Veda, Bhagavad Gita. Yadna dana tapaschaiva. Yadna dana tapaschaiva, should not never deviate. Dana means giving consciousness. I want to give something. Okay? You have to give something to somebody anytime. If you have money, you give. If you have education, you give. Dana, vidya. Teaching ability, give teaching. Okay? If you have money, you give. If you have power, you give power. Empower people. Right? What you have in abundance, you give. Right? So, if you can't give, I don't have money, I don't have power, then give some smile, some gentle words to somebody. That is not lack of power. That is not there. That's not a shortcoming. Right? Somebody is in depression. A few good words will make him happy. That you can't say, I don't have money, I don't have power. Bringing a smile on somebody's face doesn't cost you any resources. So give. Don't seek. Don't seek happiness from outer world. Try to learn, give happiness. That is the fundamental principle of Karma Yoga. So now, what you have, you give. If you have money, you give. If you have power, you give. If you have education, you give. Vidya dana. The principle of life is what you give will come in abundance to you. That's the nature of life. Okay, what you sow, you will reap. That's what it says in Bible. The principle of karma is what you do will come back to you. If you seed, if you put mango seeds, mango plant will grow. If you put Kerala seeds, Kerala plant will go. What you give will come to you. Let us take simple example. You know a subject, physics or chemistry, or even spirituality. You teach 10 children. Then your understanding of the subject becomes much more crystal clear. What you have given will come to you. In fact, a paradox of life is a teacher is a student. Student is a teacher. Outwardly, it appears that this is a teacher, this is a student. But really, the teacher is learning much more than the student. By giving, you are growing. Right? By giving, you are growing. By seeking, you are becoming poorer. That is the law of nature. By giving, you are growing. By seeking, you become poorer. What consciousness you have, that consciousness gets strengthened. Okay, if you have money, somebody has money. Okay, I have 100 rupees money. I want to donate. Will his money grow? 100 rupees he can exhaust. So now that giving 100 rupees is not, it is a foolishness. So he will give 10 rupees. Every my salary is 10% I will give. Let's say he gives 10 rupees. So tomorrow he wants to give more, he has to earn more. That means he starts earning more to give more. What you give will come back in more abundance. Right? Let's say you want to feed 10 people, children. This year I want to feed 10 children. So next year I want to feed 100 children. Then you have to earn more. So more money and more food will come to you. This is the principle of Yadna. What you give will grow in you. So if you have to get a wisdom, Atma Dana, you have to learn how to give Atma Dana to others. No, I don't have Atma Dana. How can I give others? Then participate in Guru Yadna. Guru has the Atma Dana. Take that and give it to you. You become the channel. In the process, you will become purified. What do you think I am doing? I am taking what Shankaracharya has taught, what our rishis have taught, that I am giving. I don't have that knowledge, original knowledge. Their knowledge I am taking and passing it through me. I become a purer and purer channel. So in the process, I grow. You people may think that this Guruji is teaching me. Guruji knows something. Guruji is also taking knowledge from higher source and giving it to you. In the process, I am getting purified. In Yadna, I am getting purified. Understand? This is the principle of life. So I am interested only in more and more purification for myself. For that, only way to do is for me to do Rishi Yadna. Take teaching of Rishi and pass it through me. In the process, I become free. So I just become a flute, instrument. I become an empty instrument for the divine teaching of Rishis. Bhagavan passes through me. The more it passes through me, the more I become purified. Now, when I pass it on to others, I operate with the consciousness of giving consciousness, right? And when I receive the teaching of Shankaracharya Rishis, I receive the teaching with the attitude of gratefulness, because they are giving the teaching. So gratefulness that side, and giving attitude here, Vidyadana. So the more grateful you become, the more grace will flow, more and clarity will emerge. Right? Now, is this, after doing this Rishi Yajna for 10 years, I'll get some liberation? No. This moment, not your next moment. Attitude makes a difference in life. Understanding makes a difference in life. A wrong understanding, same work you do, can cause suffering. If I have the concept that I'll do Rishi Yajna for 20 years, then I'll get some purification, then that understanding itself is wrong. If I do Rishi Yajna now, immediately my jnana, there's a clarity appears in me. That's the understanding. It's always now, not tomorrow. Right? So that first attitude is shifting from a beggar consciousness to giver consciousness is karma yoga. Correct? And also principle is what I give will come back to me in abundance. Now the second question comes. What is that I can give? Always we should be very careful in choosing what I have to give. For example, today I can decide that I want to give money to people. I want to do charity. Okay? Then I should be ready to earn more money. What I earn only I can give. But if I have to earn more vidya or wisdom in my life, I have to learn how to give wisdom to life. See, what you are interested, only you have to focus. You should not focus on something which you don't have interest. Karma yoga, you should be very focused on what you are interested in, what will purify you. Are you clear? That's the second step, because what you give will come to you. Right? So next, first is shifting from beggar consciousness to giver consciousness. Second thing is what I have to give. Clarity. If I have clarity, if I have to learn, I have to get a good thing in music, but I cannot start giving in dance, then there will be conflict. The music have to be good. I have to learn how to give music to others. Correct? So what I have to be giving, clarity is required. Now none of this is postponed result. It always result is now. By giving, I'll feel happy. By shifting attitude of beggar to giver, I'll be happy. By giving something which will help me, I'll be happy. Right? That's the second thing. The third thing is what I give, will it benefit somebody? Next question. Okay. So this question has an important question, because we have to do something which is meaningful and effective. We should not do something which is not meaningful, not effective. Right? Let us say, example, you have a skill of writing cartoons. Okay. So you want to teach people cartoons, but there is nobody to receive cartoon teaching. Then your skill will not improve, because it's kept to yourself. Unless you find a student who will receive the cartoon teaching, you will not be able to donate. So recipient is required. Not just giving, but recipient is required. Correct? Without recipient, you cannot give. Correct? So when we have to understand in life, always the life is such a way that for every skill or every opportunity, there is always a giver and there is a recipient. There will be recipient. If you have some skills, there will be always recipient for skills. You may have some specialized skills, but there will be specialized recipient. Whether they will find you, we don't know. Okay. So giving requires a recipient. Okay. Suppose I am teaching Upanishad. If there are no students who want to listen to Upanishad, what will I teach? Right? Understand? Their next principle will come into life. If you are really, you are vibrating with that principle. You are vibrating with, let's say for me, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Brahmadnana, that I vibrate with that. That vibration will spread and the people with related vibration will come to you. This is grace. Understand? Then start bringing, because the vibration you cannot see. The vibration is spread in the universe. So then the people who are tuned to that vibration will start coming to you. It may take some time, but they will happen. This is the principle of vibration will come into picture. Like vibration will attract the like-minded people. Okay? Because now we are speaking of the energy level. So far we are thinking of thought level. Now the energy, if you have an intention, real intention to give something, and real ability to give something, however little it is, it will bring you the people who are able to receive it. This is not done by you. This is done by Ishvara, universal level. So that vibration, energy, vibration will bring the like-minded vibration. Okay, I'll give you an example, simple example. Look at your friends and relatives in your circle in your life. Okay, don't you see only like-minded people come together? If you are involved in spiritual activity, more like-minded spiritual people will come into picture. If you are involved in music activity, more like-minded music people will come. If you are involved in dance activity, then dance activity, no music person will be there, no spiritual person will be there. Why? That vibration which we have will resonate the person with the other person who has that same vibration. It will come together. It will attract the vibrations, people of the same vibration together. So this will happen not because of you. This will become in spite of you. This is Ishvara's grace. Ishvara will say, oh, these two people are have same vibration. They will come together. This is not individual. First two steps are your decision. The third step is Ishvara's decision. Who will be the recipient of this? If your desire is sincere, if your intent is there, that intensity will bring the right people to you. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa got Atma, enlightenment. Then he didn't have students. Vivekananda, nobody was there. Okay. So he had a vision that these people will come to him. Vivekananda, Narendranath. They are not coming. But he has a desire to teach. They have not come because they don't know he is there. Then Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to fight with the Mother Kali. You said my students will come. Where are the students? Eventually the students start coming. That is not Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's role. That's the Kali's role. That is the mother's role. Universal mother. Bringing to their like-minded people, vibrations is the universal role. That will happen. For that you have to just surrender. I am doing my best. This is what I can do. Okay. Then of course you can do, you can tell, you can advertise, this is what I am doing, some people will come. But the real sincere, real cream of the people will start coming when the vibrations reach to that people. Other people will come and drop out. They will not be sincere. Or they will not be not your class. And always the people will come where there is a give and take. Okay, only take is that they will not feel comfortable. There is always a give and take will happen. In any relationship. Only give only relationship is actually bondage. So what will happen is with a Guru-Shishya relationship, Guru is giving wisdom. Shishya will give back service. Now there is nothing which Guru needs a service. The Shishya will give back the service of Guru to society. So this give and take is taking place. Right? So that will happen in Karma Yoga. Now, after doing Karma Yoga for 10 years, you will not get happiness. By the process of giving, you will get happiness. By process of bringing happiness in somebody's life, you will bring happiness. And this will create a different pathway in your life. All your old vasanas will go. Now, the new vasanas are created. New vasanas of joy and happiness is created new. The more clear you are, the more focused you are, the more immediately it will happen. It is not time dependent process. It is the clarity and focus. Degree of happiness first itself, from beggar consciousness, if you are shifting to giver consciousness, immediately your happiness is unlimited. The moment you see a smile on somebody's face, you will feel more happy. The moment you have an attitude that somebody I am bringing happiness somewhere whom I don't know, okay, I don't need to know, then you will be happy. Then That's where the karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this is karma yoga. You do karma, but don't get attached to result. Why? Why? Result is not under your control. Result is always Bhagavan gives. That's why I say, who wants to receive from you, Bhagavan will create. Ishvara, not your choice. Karma, phala is Bhagavan's hand. But sincerity and clarity is your hand. Right? Karmanye vadikasti. You have right to do your duty. So that's why Sri Krishna tells Arjuna. Arjuna is disturbed. Sri Krishna doesn't tell Arjuna, go and meditate. You'll be peaceful. Okay? He says, do your karma. Follow your dharma. Okay? That is the way to peace. Not running away to forest. Not running away to Himalayas. So Sri Krishna teaches two things. It's called Sankhya Yoga. Buddhi Yoga and Karma Yoga. Buddhi Yoga is required for clarity. Who am I? Karma Yoga is required to application in life. That's why it's called Sankhya Yoga. Buddhi Yoga plus Karma Yoga. So that is for most of us, that Buddhi Yoga plus Karma Yoga is applicable. Karma Yoga is, Buddhi Yoga is Atma Dana. Who am I? Atmano Mokshartham. Karma Yoga is how do I apply it to society. Now application to society, what can I apply? What can apply is what skills you have, you can give. Okay? Or you want to become more and more, you want to merge with Ishvara. So then what Ishvara does, you have to do, give more and more. What Ishvara does, Ishvara gives, Ishvara is dharma. Ishvara, the entire role of Ishvara is establishing dharma. So you participate in dharmic activity, whatever you consider as your dharma. So in that process, dharma and right karma and karma yoga will keep you in a joyful state all the time. It's not that joy will come after some time. If you are thinking that joy is coming after some time of karma yoga, then you are actually karma yoga, you are making karma roga. You are making it disease. What is the karma roga? I do this thing, something result will come. Then my happiness will have to come from some other situation. Karma yoga is not result. Happiness is not result. Karma yoga is happiness by doing. So that's a wrong understanding of karma yoga. Oh, by doing this my happiness will come. By doing this something purification will happen. Then karma yoga, it's not karma yoga, it becomes karma roga. Then you are constantly look for happiness and purification in the future. Doing is happiness, is karma yoga. So the example of that doing I will tell you. So somebody wants to go to office. Monday morning he wants to go to office, it's a headache. Oh, many people get a heart attack also when going to office. Many of the heart attacks happen Monday morning. It's a stress. But the same person, he has a hobby. Maybe a gardening is hobby. He'll spend 10 hours, 15 hours doing it. That's a joy for him. The doing is joy. Just because you're gardening, nobody will give a prize for you. Doing is a joy, is called karma yoga. In the process of doing, I can bring happiness to somebody. That thought itself will give you joy. They may not be really happy. We cannot make anybody happy. But I am adapting a process by which I am a giver of happiness to people. That itself brings a lot of tremendous relief in our mind. A woman goes to office. Spending 8 hours in the office becomes a pain for her. But she spends 10 hours with the child, playing with the child. She doesn't know how time is going. Why? Because that playing with the child itself gives happiness. Whereas in office, she is going because you'll get a salary. Reward is going to office is linked to the reward. Playing with the child is that itself is reward. The child will not come and give a prize to her mother. So when you do karma yoga, all your work becomes a hobby like. By doing you will get a joy. Then you are doing karma yoga. No, by doing this after 10 years I will get purification. Then you are not doing karma yoga. You are actually doing a karma roga, disease. So when the reward is immediate, brain will create new pathways. The new pathways will remove the old vasanas. And old vasanas will not be forgotten. But they will be sidelined with the new vasana. Now I am not telling you become a workaholic. Okay? There are people become workaholic because they want to work for 24 hours continuously workaholic. right? There are many people who are workaholic and they destroy their health. Karma yoga is not about becoming workaholic. Karma yoga is not about doing work for 24 hours. Karma yoga is our attitude and mind centered around the work. What is that attitude and mind centered around work? Okay, I'll tell you an example. There's always a center in our life, right? For example, before your marriage, the boy was somebody, you are somebody. Your center was something else. After marriage, wife's thought always will go around the husband. Anything is there, again the husband is there. Husband thoughts will always go around the wife. There is a center in our thought process. Correct? After the child is born, the center becomes the child. Always there is a center in our thought process all the time. Correct? So, it's not that you are working all the time for the child. It's not that continuously you are doing some work. But anyway, anything you do, mind background is the child is there. Anything you do in the mind, the background husband or wife is there. So what is the predominant thought? Is husband or wife or child. In Karma Yoga, that center shifts to God or Guru. Not the husband, not the child, but the Guru. It's not that you have to work 24 hours for something. But always at the background of mind, okay, what can I do? What better I can do? It's not that 24 hours you have to keep on doing something. But your thought should center around Guru or God. Then becomes Karma Yoga. Why Guru? Because Guru is not a person. Guru is involved in Rishi Yajna. How can I do what's in Rishi Yajna? That thought should be there. Jnana Yajna. Then that becomes your center. What is your center? That brings you joy or happiness. Causes joy or suffering. Because whatever you think constantly, you become that. This is called Brahmara Kita Nyaya, which is often quoted in Upanishad, Vedantas. So an insect, there's a some bee which brings an insect and keeps it in the nest to feed it to children. The insect is so much afraid of bee, it constantly thinks of the bee, and one day it gets wings and flies away. Whatever you think constantly, you become that. Right? So now, what you constantly think, it's not that you have to do constantly doing something. What is the background of your mind constantly is the thought. Is God background of your thought all the time? Or is Guru your background of thought all the time? Then anything you do becomes a offering to God. Otherwise, anything becomes a offering to self, individual, ego. So from ego, we'll push to next level. Then another thing happens in Karma Yoga. What happens is, in Karma Yoga, we take work for a noble cause. A greater cause than my personal cause. In my life, always our mind thoughts are centered on me, my wife, my children, my family, my, me. In Karma Yoga, you focus it to a higher cause. Okay? So it's not related to me. And it's not related to my uncle, my relative, my friends. It is somebody who is not me. They may not even come and say thanks to you. It is a higher cause. So when you are related to higher cause, the selfish center called me starts coming down. And when the higher cause is noble and really worthwhile, then you are ready to do, your motivation and drive to do it is higher. That's how many of the freedom fighters in India, they sacrificed their life. They went to gallows. They fought bullets, thinking that I am giving a life for my country. It's not my family, my relative. So when the cause is higher, our motivation, energy to do it is also higher. So that's why Atmano Mokshartham is Atmadnana, where Guru is the center. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyas is the center. Jagaditaya, Dharma is the center. What is the dharmic activity which will bring more and more happiness to people? That's why I call it Dharma. So, Guru is the center for Atmadnana, Dharma is the center for service. If you follow this, your life will be peaceful. Not because you do this, peace will come. By doing this, your peace will come. Then you are on the right path. If you say, no, I will do 10 years and I will get peace, then you are not right path. Karma yoga is joy in doing, joy in working for higher cause, joy in working for Guru, joy in working for God, joy in bringing some peace and happiness to some people, and not expecting any results. When you do this, you become a non-doer. You are doing continuously 24 hours, but you have become a non-doer. Why you become non-doer? Because there's no doer there. The doer comes only when this me is there. When I am not doing for anything for me, for the society as a whole, as a Ishvara, service to Ishvara, where is that me? You become a non-doer. So karma yoga as a disease. Karma yoga is a healing. Then you become, then Naishkarmya Siddhi, I become a non-doer. I learn to do any action without doership. The doership will come when only self-centered rewards are there. Oh, by doing so I'll get happiness. But when doing itself is happiness, where is the doer? So this is the path of karma yoga. Any questions?